Okay, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Okay, and I think I'm putting this on both channels. I'm not really sure. Janie's Hippie Art and Janie's Crazy Life. I'm not really sure at the moment, but I think I am. Because this video is basically, I'm going to explain to you guys exactly why I got a divorce. I'm just going to explain it once. We're going to talk about it, and it's going to be over with, because I am not one of those people who wants to dwell in the past. And excuse me for that, but I'm not one of those people who want to dwell in the past. So if you have minors, not that I'm going to get X-rated. I'm not going to get X-rated, but if you don't want your minor kids watching this, then ask them to leave the room if you want to watch it, or watch it later. Because I'm about to do something that, to me, I've been thinking about doing. And I think it's like, I'm never going to, okay, basically, this is what happened, okay? I was up here at the Kentucky schoolhouse, working on the schoolhouse. The plans I had when I came up here last October, it was September, end of September or beginning of October, around about that. I think it was the end of September. The plans I had was to come up here and do more work on the schoolhouse throughout the winter months, what I could do, because being winter, you can't do a lot of painting and stuff. But the plans were, according to me and the husband, was, or ex-husband, was that I would spend a winter up here and see how cold a winter actually got. And that way we could decide one of two things. Either, well, one of a few things. Okay. Either we keep the schoolhouse and we retire to Kentucky someday, because cost of living is a little cheaper up here, or, and we sell Florida, or I go back and forth for 10 years and do the art stuff, you know, like do the art events in Kentucky and the art events in Florida and some in between, that kind of thing. And me really dive into my art, because I had to put a lot of doing art events and stuff on hold when Mama was so sick. So that was the plans that we discussed, okay? We discussed it, and I was like, are you sure you sure you're okay with me going away for several months? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's fine. Hold on, my battery's about to go dead. Let me go get something to power me up. Okay, I'm back. So we have this discussion that I'll just come up here and do a lot to the house. I'll work on the house over the next few years, and if we sell the schoolhouse, we'll get more than what we paid for it. Okay, so that's what we discussed. Okay, I thought we were all on board. The Saturday after Thanksgiving last year, 2020, I called him because he was like, he and my daughter were out doing something, and he said, we're going to have lunch, but I'll talk to you in a couple hours or something. So I think, okay, I haven't heard, he was going to call me. Oh, I'll call him. Maybe I missed a call, and I'll call him. So I call the house, and my daughter's home, and she basically says to me, I said, where's your dad at? Oh, she says, he had to go to the office to print checks for, I'm going to say, what's the name I can say? Because I don't want to say the person's name. I'm going to I'm going to use the name Mary, okay? I'm at the office printing checks for Mary. And I'm like, okay, he's said that before. You know, it's not unfeasible. So I hang up and I think, well, I'm going to call him, you know, just call him and talk to him. He's at the office printing checks, you know, no big deal. So no answer. So I let it go. A little while later, I call again, no answer. I let it go. Finally, I try again, no answer. I'm thinking, where's he at now? Okay, where's he at now? So when I looked at Life 360 app, his positioning, he is pinged at a Super 8 hotel. And I'm thinking, he's at a Super 8 hotel. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe he's by a Super 8 hotel, met with a client and stuff and everything. No, he was not meeting with a client. He was a client, okay? Basically, he had let me first go here. So I finally get him on the phone, and I said, I tried to call you. He says, well, I was wrapping things up. I said, why does the Life 360 app say you're at a Super 8? And he's like, it's been messing up. I said, it doesn't make sense because the Life 360 app has me in Kentucky, has Nathan at his job, and has Katie at home. He says, it's been messing up lately. I have to have Katie fix it. And I'm thinking, how can Katie fix it? Because I said, and I'm telling my husband, like, it has you going down this highway. And he says, I'm on this other highway. He says, I'm on 301. And I'm like, it has you going down this road. And I'm like, you just passed by this. He says, I don't know, it's messing up. I'm going down 301. And I'm like, but you just passed this? Because I can follow him all the way where he's going. Finally, I said, well, you just passed by this restaurant. And he goes, right, because I'm on 301. Now, to get to that restaurant from the road he was on, he had to go over a bridge. And I said to him, well, you just crossed over this bridge, the name of the bridge. And he's like, I don't know, I'm on 301. It's just been messing up. And I'm like, it looks like you're cheating. Looks like you're cheating. And I felt bad for accusing him. So he says, no, I'm on 301. I'm on 301. I'm like, yeah, now you are. So I say to him, if you're cheating, I'm going to come home and divorce you. So he says, I'm not cheating. I wish you wouldn't blame me, accuse me of this. Okay. So the only other time in history that I thought he was cheating was 4 years ago. Okay. Prior to this. So I get off the phone. I'm mad. Okay. And then I stay mad for a little while. I go to bed. I cry a little bit because I'm thinking, if he's cheating on me, why is he cheating on me and stuff? So the next morning comes. He doesn't call me. It's Sunday. He doesn't call me. So I stay home. I don't go to church because I'm in a bad place. Then a little bit later that morning, I think, okay, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe he's not cheating. He's telling me the truth. A couple times in the past where it kind of looked like he could have, but he claimed he wasn't. I believed him. Even 4 years ago when he was cheating, my mom said, no, not your husband, not your husband. He's a good Christian man, a good Christian husband, a father, blah, blah, blah. No, not yours. Yours wouldn't even know how to cheat. Well, I guess sometime between Saturday night and Sunday evening, because it was Sunday evening, because I'd gone out and gone Christmas shopping. I was actually thinking of going back home for Christmas and surprising the family and heading back for Christmas, because I was going to spend Christmas in Kentucky and see how cold winter got here. But I almost thought about going back. So I say I'm going to go back. Well, I get a phone call from him. And he says, I'm sorry. I'm like, what are you sorry for? And I thought, well, normally I would have said, well, I'm sorry too. Because we had a little bit of a fight by the phone. Because we don't fight. We didn't fight. That's the thing. I said, what are you sorry for? He says, I lied to you. And I said, you lied to me? He said, yeah, I lied to you. I said, what'd you lie to me about? I was with my girlfriend. And I'm like, you were what? He says, with my girlfriend. And I said, seriously? You were with your girlfriend? And he said, yes. So I'm like, let me call you right back in a minute. Because I just needed to catch my breath for a minute. And I was actually getting in the shower when he called. Took my shower, got back on the phone, called him up, said, you're seriously cheating on me? And he's like, yeah. I said, with who? And he told me her name. And I'm like, seriously? And this is where I don't want the children in the room, guys. I said, with that skanky little whore? And he said, yes. And I said, how long has this been going on? He said, 3.5 years. So this affair had been going on a little over 3.5, 4 years. When he first started having an affair with this girl, she was 23 years old. She's 27 years old. She is a meth head with a criminal record for theft, burglary, shoplifting, possession of drugs, alcohol, you name it. She has it all. She has, she doesn't even have custody of her own kid. She has been in jail on and off over the last couple years. And like the times you didn't see her, because he said, well, we've been having an affair for 3.5, 4 years, and there was a couple times I didn't see her. I'm like, because she's sitting in jail when you didn't see her, because I pulled her whole history up. And I'm like, seriously? I said, where you been seeing her at? well, I go to a hotel room with her. I'm like, you give her money? I'm like, that ain't having an affair. That's paying someone for sex. So, needless to say, my husband was cheating on me with a 27-year-old little meth head who was only doing him for the money. Okay, that's it. I put it out there. So I said to him when he told me he was cheating, I said, as soon as I can get home, I'm coming home. I'm divorcing your butt. Because I'm not letting a man do that to me. I am more important. I am more valuable. I respect myself way too much to believe it. I mean, I honestly felt all those years up until November 28th of last year, I honestly believed that my husband was one of those men that would never cheat on a woman because I honestly believed that he was, until then, I honestly believe he was a good Christian man. But for a man to be able to have an affair, go to a hotel room with a 23 to 27-year-old girl for 3 years, 3.5, 4 years, and have an affair. Because when she first came in the picture, his phone blew up one night and it was, where's my money? Where's my money? And I was like, what? Where's my plane ticket? Where's my plane ticket? And I asked him about him because I read the messages. He said, I'm just trying to help a young girl get back to Florida to be with her kid. I'm like, why is she not with her kid anyways? Where's her kid? Well, her mom has custody of him. I'm like, Phil, she's got a problem. She's got a problem. She's got a drug addiction problem. And back then, I pulled her up and she had a drug addiction problem back 4 years ago. So I told him, I said, you should be ashamed of yourself. Someday that young girl, I've told him this since the whole mess, that someday that young girl is going to come clean and she's going to regret what she did with, and he's not the only one. The place where he met her, it was at a flea market. That guy was doing her too. And I'm like, she's doing all kinds of guys. You have no respect for this young girl. If you were truly an honest, good Christian man, you would have wanted to help that young girl stop doing what she was doing. You would not want it to be a part of her demise to herself, her self-loathing, her hatred of herself. Because someday she's going to wake up and get clean. And I told him this, someday she's going to wake up and she's going to get clean and she's going to regret what she did with you and other guys for money just to get a bag of whatever she's doing, just to get something. I mean, she's going to regret it because he's 58 years old, messing around with a 27-year-old. What in the world is going on in his mind? And to look at her, unfortunately, I hate to describe her this way. To look at her, you can tell she is strung out on something, and she is. Because the few times I've seen her at this flea market where he met her, she always looked like she was jonesing for something or she was tweaked out on something. Or, I mean, she's covered in sores from the drugs and picking and stuff. I mean, she always looked like she needed to have someone grab her, give her a big hug, and tell her she's worth more than what she was doing to herself. She always did. Now, I don't blame the young girl at all. I don't. She was a young girl who saw my ex-husband and thought, he's a clean John. Now, the reason why I do not believe this is the first time he's done this, because when I was pregnant with my son, there was a situation where a girl told me she was having an affair with my husband, and she swore up and down she was, and I said something to him, and he goes, oh no, she did this to my boss too, she did this, called his wife, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't believe him now. I believed him then because I thought we did go to church on a regular basis. We went to church every Sunday. He even preached sometimes at churches. While he was having this affair on me for the last 3 or 4 years, he stood up in front of his church and he led singing and he led prayers, and I think he preached a time or two. So he has got to be the most religious hypocrite I've ever met in my entire life. Now, do I hate him? I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I want nothing to do with him. The only thing good that came out of that marriage was my 2 kids. Would I do it all over again for them? Yes. Would I want to do it all over again? No. Because the last conversation I had with my ex-husband, I told him point blank, I did not believe him that I believe he cheated before, because I told him that to be able to hide it that well for almost 4 years and me not catch him, he was not the first time. to be that good at hiding it. He had to have done it multiple times before. So I believe he has been cheating on me for the whole 33 years. Now, and I told him when I spoke to him last that, in my opinion, he was not a good example of what a husband should be or a father should be, because I just don't think he is, or what a Christian is. Now, does his church know? No. Does his partner at his job know? No, she does not. Did I threaten to out him? Oh, I threatened to out him. I threatened to ruin him. The only reason why I did not ruin him professionally and at his church was because of my kid. That's the only reason why. My kids. I did not want him to be a burden to my children. I mean, it's bad enough they have him for a father. At the example that he is. That's bad enough. So I asked, so what this video is leading up to is, I asked my kids if they wanted my wedding band and stuff, my wings, and my daughter said, "No, I don't want them, Mom. They do not represent a marriage." I asked my son if he wanted them because I don't want my wedding ring. This wedding ring is a lie. I kept my vows. I never, ever, ever looked at another man when I was married to him. Never looked at another man. And after all the years of working in hair, there were several situations where a client did ask me out. There was one time my husband left for 3 or 4 weeks to go on a trip with his mom and dad with my son when they were little. And a man said to me at a place where I worked, said to me, "Your husband will never know. He's gone." And I said, "But I would know." So I never, ever looked at another man. I mean, someone could say to me, "Isn't he hot and sexy?" And I would say, "Well, he's a nice looking man." But I never, ever, ever looked at another man. I had no reason to. I took what this ring represented as a sacred vow. I did. I thought this ring, I cherish this ring. This ring now represents to me a lie, a long lie. So I asked him why he did it, and I will never, and friends of mine have told me, no matter how many times you ask the question, no matter how he answers the question, how he words his answer, you will never be happy with the answer, so stop asking. So I'm one of those people who kind of like closure to things. So I'd been thinking about, what can I do to get closure? What can I do to get closure? Since nobody wants this ring, and honestly, I don't even want this ring to go on anybody else's finger, because in my opinion, this ring is tainted with a lie, with cheat and dishonesty. I really believe this ring is tainted. I don't want it to go to nobody else. So what I'm going to do to this ring is I'm going to smash it up, because he put this ring on my finger as a promise, and he broke that promise. So I need closure to all this, because I want to move on. I want to move on. So let me put you guys on the little tripod thing, and I'm going to whack the crap out of this ring. So hold on one second. I thought about cutting the ring, but then I thought, no, I didn't cut the bond to start with, so I'm not going to go now. So I got these needles, no plier. Got me a hammer, and I got me an old cutting board. And I'm about to whack the crap out of this ring. And boy, does that feel good. That feels so good to whack the crap out of this ring, because this ring now just means nothing to me. It's just a hunk of gold. I want, like I said, no one else to ever get it. Whoops, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm actually thinking about sending it back to him and telling him, "Here's your wedding band back." I'm actually thinking about doing that. I remember the day, like yesterday, when we bought these. But they don't mean anything. This doesn't mean anything. This ring means nothing at all to me. This gold ring means nothing. I don't even want to sell it, because I don't even want the money from it. And then no people go, "Oh no, you sell it. You'll get a few dollars for it." No, it means nothing. It means nothing, this ring. Oh, there it goes again. Oh, this feels so good, guys. You have no idea how good this feels. You guys have no idea. I see little shards of gold coming off of it. You have no idea how good it feels to actually whack the living crap out of this ring. You have no idea. I've been wanting to do this video and tell you guys exactly what happened because as far as I'm concerned, it's over. Now, the only problem I'm having with people is people are telling me to move on and to be okay. I need to forgive him and let it all go in God's hands. I get that, okay? I get that. I get what they're saying. But honestly, I don't feel like I need to forgive him to move on. I really don't. I told the last conversation I had with him, I told him point blank. I said to him, you were the one person, because I kind of thought in a way he was my best friend because he was my husband, my lover, my companion, the father of my children, the man I promised to spend the rest of my life with. And I told him, I said, you were the one person I trusted the most. And you have been the one person who has hurt me the most in life. I don't think any other person could ever hurt me as bad as he did. Now, yes, if I get involved with another man and he cheats on me and does something, yeah, that will hurt too. But I would have already experienced the hurt. So I don't even think that will hurt as bad as this first time around. So I do believe that he's the one person who has hurt me the most in my life. I mean, he cheated on me when I was going through hard times dealing with a sick, dying mother. I mean, here I was off at a cancer center taking care of her, and here he was at a hotel room with a little prostitute girl drugged out on drugs, making money for her next fix. Boy, that feels good. Just think of his name. That feels so good. So, that's my wedding band. I don't need it no more. It's no good to me anymore. I think, do I send it to him, or would I just go throw it over into the water? What do I do with it? The ring. I feel relieved in a way. Because it's been just sitting in my jewelry box. Didn't know what to do with it. Just been sitting there. Had no idea what to do with it. Okay? Just had no idea what to do with the wedding band. You know? Like I said, I didn't want anybody to have it. Because it does not represent a good marriage. I have wedding rings that represent a good marriage. I have my mother and father's wedding band. That represented a good marriage. And I have my grandparents' wedding rings that represent a good marriage. But this one, that represents lies, deceit, and cheat. And I told him point blank, after I went back to Florida to divorce him, because I got in late on a Saturday night or really early Sunday morning, and the next morning when we woke up on Sunday, I told him point blank what I wanted and what was going to happen. And I told him point blank that there would be another man who would appreciate me for who I was. Because our life was okay at this point of life. I mean, we didn't have much debt. We had cars, we didn't have much debt. And that's what I couldn't understand. And I asked him point blank several weeks back when I had my very last conversation with him. I said, was it worth it all? And he says to me, I don't know. I go back and forth on that. And I'm thinking, again, people, I hope your kids are not listening. I think to myself, you're such an asshole. You really are such an ass. Because those young years of everybody being hotheads, the hard stuff you go through, that was all behind us. And I thought we were doing pretty good. I mean, yeah, things, things change a little bit in a relationship, We didn't look like we did when we first got married. But the only excuse he gave me for the divorce, for the cheating, was because I said to him, why? And this is when he told me while I was still up here that he was cheating. The only excuse he gave to me was, I said, tell me. He says, you're not going to like it. I said, I don't like what you've already told me. So go ahead and tell me what you want to tell me. And he was like, well, it's because of your weight. And I'm thinking, and I said to him, I said, seriously? Because that made no sense, because I have been a big woman my whole life. I mean, when I was 16, my friends were skinny and I wasn't skinny. You know, when I met him, I was not skinny. So that made no sense whatsoever. He knew when he met me what I was, you know, and I've been an open book the whole life. And on top of it all, it's a medical condition, you know, PCOS. So it's like, yeah, maybe I can lose 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, but I'm never going to be a skinny woman. I'm never going to be a skinny woman. And the thing about it is, I'm okay with that. I love me. I love me. And my daughter told me, and I told you guys this before, when she was diagnosed with PCOS and we found out about it, and then we did the research and we found out that, yes, my grandmother probably had PCOS. It skipped my dad and it went to me and my daughter because all the symptoms were there. And when we started reading on them and everything, and I talked to my doctor, and I just didn't get that official, and the doctor agreed with me, I probably had PCOS. I just didn't get that official, what is it? When they tell you what it is. Not title, but official, officially put on my paperwork that I had it, because I'm beyond having children stage. Women who usually want to start having children find out they have PCOS, and then they can give them medication and stuff like that to help them possibly conceive. But I'm past that. But it explains why my children are like almost 6 years apart, and we tried to have them close together. But it makes so much sense. So yeah, my doctor agreed that I had PCOS, but there's no reason for me to be treated for it, because I'm beyond childbearing years. You know, I'm not having kids anymore. You know, my daughter, on the other hand, she's got medication, you know. So if she wants to have a kid, let me put you guys back, she can try to have a kid down the road, because she's young. She's only 24. But that was the most lame excuse I ever met. And I felt like I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and I'm glad I did it today, because I needed this closure. And I'm not tearing up because of him, because I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I'm empowering myself to move on. So, and I need to move on because I've kind of met somebody. And I don't know where it's going to go. We're just talking right now. He's coming to dinner Friday night, which this is Wednesday, and he's going to call me at 7. So I need to eat my dinner soon. But he's going to call me, and I don't want this to be in the way of anything in the future, if that makes sense. And I believe it does. So, hold on. I feel better. So this gentleman that I have met, I kind of flirted with him last week. I kind of flirted with him last week. And I did give him my phone number. And then I kind of flirted with him again a couple days ago. And then he said, I'm gonna give you a call. And I'm like, well, maybe I should fix your dinner. And he said, okay, can't do it tonight. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm off Friday. I said, that will work. But he's not a complete stranger either, because I've seen him since last year at the place where he works. And he's always been a nice guy. You know, nothing. I mean, I wouldn't even have known if he was even interested in me at that particular time, because he's quite a gentleman. And he's also, Bevels and West know him. So he's not a stranger. So he's approximately about my age, a little bit older than me. So if anything comes of it, if just a friendship comes from it, if just a good friendship comes from it, getting to know him, that's worth it too. You know, I'm not necessarily looking for uh my next uh relationship. You know, relationships come in all different shapes and sizes. You know, they can be something as simple as someone you see at a store and you just have a nice word every time you see them. They get to know you, and they get to know a little bit about you, and they go, "Well, how you doing today? Oh, did you do that?" Especially if it's a place where you're going to get stuff to do a project. Well, how did your project come out? Just someone who's a casual acquaintance that is a smiling face whenever you talk to them, or somebody who you get to know, and maybe you're interested in them, and then it just turns into a really good friendship, and it's somebody you can call up every now and then and just talk to, or somebody you rush by and you go and you stop and talk a little bit, or somebody just becomes a friend, or it becomes something else more. Who knows? I don't know where this is going to go. He seems to be like a very nice gentleman. We seem to be able to have a good conversation when we talk. When we talked for 40 minutes last night, I believe, or longer. I can't remember, because he finally said, I gotta go because I gotta go to bed. But he said he enjoyed talking to me, and I enjoyed talking to him. So I mean, it was a pleasant conversation. I don't know where it's gonna go, and wherever it's gonna go, it's gonna go. Like I said, it could be a friendship, it could be something more. I don't know yet. But if I'm gonna give anybody a chance, I needed some sort of closure, even though I got the divorce and I'm moving on, and I'm not angry. I'm not sad like I was. I've worked through a lot of that. And I know some people will be like, well, didn't this just happen? Everybody goes through something at a different speed or level or time frame or whatever. Um, I do not love the ex-husband. I do not love him. And I know that sounds weird, but I totally understand. And I've said this before. I understand how women go from love to hate. I totally get it. How it can go from like a thermometer, from love to hate, fiery mad. I don't hate him. Um, I really don't. I want. I mean, we got kids, grown kids together, so we will cross paths in the future. And I want, on behalf of my children, I want us to cross paths civilly. I want to be able to be in a room with him and, not want to throw something at him. And I don't want to throw something at him now. I just, um, he's my past now. He's my past. And I needed this symbolism of he's my past. I'm done. So, I mean, I have no, I have no desire to even talk to him. At first, I missed calling up somebody, talking to him, and telling him how my day went and stuff. But I got friends and my kids for that. So, and I knew all along I was gonna be okay, and I'm still gonna be okay. And I know that this is not completely. There's still going to be moments that there might be a flashback to something, and I may still think of something. And I know there may still be a moment here or there, because I had friends tell me, 2 years from now, you could be thinking about something and you think of him, and you anger for a minute. I hope that don't happen a lot, because I really don't want to dwell in the past. I don't like drama. I don't like to hang around drama. I don't like to encourage drama, and I don't like drama in my life. I just don't like drama. I don't like drama. I feel like I'm more of the cup is half full person instead of the cup is half empty. I mean, sometimes the cup gets quite low, but I feel like I try to find out the positive of life. I mean, I'm doing good up here. Nathan's got a job, so he's out of the house some. I've started doing my artwork. I signed a contract this week for a vendor space at one of the vendor malls. I've got good friends between Bevels West and Suzanne. I've got very good friends. Started going to a church, and they seem to like me. I'm not sure if I'm crazy about the church itself, but the people seem to like me, so I am a likable person. I've never felt I had to have a huge amount of friends and stuff. Honestly, I don't. I don't think. I think quality is more important than quantity in your life, and I don't need a buttload of people to have to go do this and that with. I've got a great and wonderful neighbor that, she and I have. She's been over for dinner a couple times. We went out to dinner the other night, and that was fun. So I have stuff happening in my life. Um, Life is good. Life is getting good again. Life is good. Am I think I'm getting close to being happy. I mean, I'm happy, but it is an adjustment being divorced. It really is. I mean, it's going to be an adjustment if something goes. I mean, if something's there with this guy, because the last time I dated someone, I was 18 years old. I met my husband when I was 18, my ex-husband when I was 18. So I was married at 19, dated at 18, married at 19. I mean, we were married within a year of meeting each other. So, because I met him in October, I believe, and my birthday's in October, and we dated and married in less than a year. Um, as far as regrets with that marriage, I was a good wife. He actually told me when I left Florida to come up here. He said to me, he says, "You were a very good wife, a very good wife," and I was a good wife. I mean, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I was a good wife. I did anything and everything I could for him. I never made fun of him. I never put him down. Um, I respected him, and I was honest with him, honest beyond honest with that man. So, but a relationship has to be two-sided, and honestly, it doesn't matter when you find out if it isn't. When you do, you need to somehow find the strength within and do what you have to do. I'm not telling everybody to leave a cheating spouse, but I don't. Maybe it would have been different if it had been a one-time cheat, like he did it, he felt guilty. But the scary part about the whole thing, and I said this to my friend Bevels, the scary thing was he did it so well. That's a scary thing. That's a scary thing. He said it with such a straight face. And even when I asked him point blank, and anytime we had friends that got a divorce because of cheating, I would always say to him, don't ever cheat on me. Be honest with me and leave. If you don't want to be with me, just leave. I won't be happy, but don't make me. I don't want to be one of them women who the signs were there and you didn't listen. So if I had stayed with him after this situation, I would have been one of them women. And I'm not putting them women down. Okay, I'm not putting them down whatsoever. I do not mean to put down a woman at all if she stays with a cheating husband. But I do believe that there are men out there who cheat once and never do it again. I do believe that. And they're sorry they did it. But honestly, I didn't hear sorry. I think mine was sorry he got caught. That's what I think. But I think back to a lot of things. The financial strain that he put over us over the years of me worrying about money and stuff, and whether or not a bill was going to be paid, and wondered why there was no money to pay it, and kind of thing. So why money was so tight. Sometimes thinking, why should it be? So I just look back at a lot of things, and I don't want to keep looking back because I just don't. Life is about moving forward. And that is why on Janie's Crazy Life, there's that little beginning that says, life is what happens when you make other plans, because I was making other plans and my life got changed tremendously. But I had a lot of people saying, you'll get through it, you'll get through it, you'll get through it. And I've gotten through a lot in my life. But I thought for a minute this was going to be the breaker. Just for a split second, because I thought, how much can a person actually take in life? But I guess I can take a lot more. Now, as some of y'all know, I have a heart condition. And the number one thing that my doctor told me to avoid was stressful people. Do you know how hard it was to deal with him and keep my stress level down? And really focus on me and tell myself, you're doing the right thing for yourself, because I did not want my blood pressure to go skyrocketing with my heart condition. So I went to the doctor while I was down there in Florida getting the divorce, and I had myself checked, and I kept check on myself. And I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how I did it. But I kept my blood pressure low for high blood pressure. I mean, I have a normal blood pressure level that I stay at. It's high, but it's a normal high for me. I kept it where it should be. I mean, even the doctor was like, I don't know how you did it. Because it was in my mind that I was doing what I had to do for me. So, but I didn't let the grass grow. I mean, when I went down there, I had that man from Saturday. I got in town on Saturday morning, early Sunday morning. Had that man in the lawyer's office on Tuesday, and we were signing papers on Friday, and it was just a matter of waiting for the judge. So I was like, no, I deserve better than that. You know, I deserve better. So, all I can say to people out there, if you go through a situation, think about yourself. Okay? Think about yourself. Do what you have to do for you. Whatever it is, staying with the person or leaving the person, you do what you have to do for you. Only you know in your head and in your heart what you will put up with. Try to think with your head before your heart, because the heart will follow with the head. So, I basically want to stop this video here. I'm not going to get into details about the new guy yet because I don't want to scare him off. I kind of do like the guy. But time will tell. Time will tell where it goes, whether it's a friendship or something else. But I don't want to scare him off. He knows I have a YouTube channel, so he may or may not see this. But I don't want to scare him off. Because he does seem like a nice guy. Whether it's just something, like I keep saying, whether something comes of this or not, time will tell. Time will tell. All I can do is think about it and pray about it, So I'm going to say, if you like my videos, like and subscribe. Remember, enjoy the craziness of life, because you might laugh about it when you tell a friend. Hey, and who knows, maybe this could become a piece. I'm not going to turn this into nothing. This is going somewhere. I don't know where. I'm really tempted to mail it to him. Say, here's your ring back. I'm really tempted to mail it to him. I really am. That did feel good. That felt good, guys. So, I guess I'll say bye. Until the next video. But again, I'm not going to talk about this too much. You're not going to find out much about him right off the bat. I want to see where it goes, and then I want to see if he's comfortable being in any kind of videos. So we'll take it. I got to take it a little easy. I want to take it slow. I'm in no rush to do nothing, guys. No rush whatsoever. I'm happy with whatever's going on right now, right here. If it's just me for a long time by myself, that's okay. It's meant to be that way. What will be meant to be. In other words. Did that make sense? I think that made sense. I have to eat dinner now. I have to eat my peas. I'm having field peas and barbecue chicken tonight. I just heated it up. I already cooked it all. I need to eat my dinner before he calls, because I do want to talk to him when he calls. Because so far, there's nothing scary about him. I like everything I've heard so far that he's told me about himself. And conversations flowed very nicely. So I like that too. There's been no deadly silent moments. So, I will keep you guys a little bit in the loop about Mr. whoever he is, that I can't tell you who he is. I'll keep you a little bit in the loop as things go on. But I can't give away too much, because like I said, we don't want to scare him away. We don't. This is Janie's crazy life, and Janie's crazy. So we got to keep the crazy at bay a little bit. Give the man a chance to catch his breath. Because I don't know. I know he has an ex-wife. I don't know what they were like exactly. I don't know nothing about nobody. So we don't want to scare him away too fast, okay? We want to hook him if he's the right one. If he's somebody to hook. But, whether it be him or the next guy, we never want to scare them away. We want to hook them, reel them in, and then catch them. But let them think they caught me, okay? That's what my Aunt Susie said. My Aunt Susie says, chase them until you let them catch you. That's what she said. Down the road, let the next guy chase him until you let him catch you. So I don't know what that means exactly. And I'm telling you guys right now, when I was flirting the other day, and I know I just said goodbye, I was like, am I doing it right? All right. So I will talk to you guys later, okay? Bye.